Hi, this is Metal Steve again, and today, like as I did before, episode 1 and 2, this is episode 3 of the Star Wars The Last Damn Jedi review. Alright. So, episode 3. Alright. Their minds have been force-linked. Luke has now agreed to train Rey. Cut back to the ships. Oh, we don't have enough fuel. And somebody tracked us through hyperspace. Snogy Boy tracked us through hyperspace. What are we gonna do? I've got an idea, says Jump in the X-Wing and blow stuff up. I'm gonna go jump in the X-Wing and blow stuff up. Boom, flash, what, boom, pew, pew, boom. It's not working. Well, of course it's not working. You can't just jump in the X-Wing and blow stuff up. Oh, come on. I want to play a video game. Hasn't anybody heard of Rogue Squadron? You jump in the X-Wing, you blow stuff up. I love it. Oh, alright, fine. You guys do have me there. But this isn't Rogue Squadron. Alright, so, well, that didn't work. So, what now? Well, we're going to need to get a code of some sort. Now, the stormtrooper guy who's jumping the X-Wing blowing stuff up is now downstairs. Bumps into this Disney character. And he literally runs somewhere. He's running around on the ship, and he bumps into this lady that reminds me of a teenage Disney character. So, now, ex-stormtrooper and Disney character are going down to this planet to find this code breaker guy who, oh, did I mention there's going to be some massive spoilers just like the other 2 episodes? I'll put that in the title too. Who, they went down, so teenage Disney character lady and ex-stormtrooper now go down to the planet. Go down to this gambling planet with BB-8, who is, pardon my French, R2-D2's wannabe little brother. He has his moments too, where he almost made it. But now they're down on the planet with BB-8. And BB-8's running around doing his thing, and they run into an ex-stormtrooper and teenage Disney lady go and get caught, of course. Bum bum! And they get caught. And while they're down in the cell, they run into the codebreaker guy, who then they jump back in their ship. They jump back in the aluminum Falcon. Excuse my French. There's not a hell of a lot left of that thing after that. I think that's the ship they were using. There's not a heck of a lot left of the Millennium Falcon. So now it's the Aluminum Falcon. they jump back in the Millennial Falcon. So, yeah, I was not thrilled with this, with the way they handled the Falcon. Except for at the end, but we won't get to that yet. I'm not getting to that yet. So they jump back in the Millennium Falcon. Zoop! Up. Or, actually, it's not the Falcon. It's another Carillion freighter. Which they don't give any names to, so I'll call it the Aluminum Eagle. Whatever. Whatever the hell it's called. And so they get all the way back up, almost back up to the ship. And then War Dealer, Codebreaker guy, turns them over to the Empire. And the Empire's like, hey man, good catch, and pays him off. Hey man, good catch, that's gotta be from out of town or something, and pays him off. And the guy goes, I sell war weapons to the good guys and the bad guys and the bad guys and the good guys. And sometimes the bad guys are the good guys and the good guys are the bad guys and the bad guys are the good guys. And all that confusing nonsense. It's like war. It's almost war propaganda. There's a feminist thing going on, undertone thing going on here. Oh, speaking of feminism, why didn't the lady with the plan tell Mr. Shoot 'em Up ex-Stormtrooper the plan? Save thousands of lives. I mean, not a lot they could do about when he took on the Dreadnought, because he wanted to play AC/DC and Accept music and take on a Dreadnought. He wanted to play Accept an Iron Maiden and take on a Dreadnought. So that was kind of something that was something that he wanted to do, and there was nothing stopping him. But they could have told him the other plan and not wasted half the squad. Able to track us through hyperspace, so they tracked us through hyperspace. And oh, by the way, how did he know what was going on in the other ship? He wasn't over to the other ship. How did he know the plan of what was going on in the other ship? Alright, so Mr. Ex-Stormtrooper and Miss Disney Lady go and get themselves caught. Scene goes back to Skywalker and Rey. This is post Darth Emo Kid talking to Rey. The other scene I mentioned with I swear to God, if they do what I think they're gonna do with Darth Emo Kid and Rey and what's her name and Disney Lady and Poe, and if they do what I think they're gonna do, then absolutely holy cut screen here. I don't know, man. I have no idea. And Finn. And Finn gets in there somewhere too. Somewhere in the mix. Mr. I'ma blow stuff up with my X-Wing because I didn't like being a stormtrooper anyway. Alright, so we cut back to Rey and Luke. And Luke has an emo moment. And he decides that he's going to burn down it all. And destroy all the Jedi works. And the tree. And this tree. And he's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do this. And what's going to stop me, man? Nothing's going to stop me, man. Watch me go. Here I go, Yoda Ghost. Now, the context of the Yoda Ghost wasn't great. It was Disney as hell. And kind of a lot out of place. But how they handled Yoda himself during that scene, that was Yoda. That was really freaking close to Yoda. And for being that far out of practice, I guess that was Clone Wars Yoda. Being that far out of practice. They got him close. And Yoda and R2-D2 convince him that Luke Skywalker, that he should go help them. So he finally gets off his butt and says, by the powers of the Force around me, I cause all heck to break loose. Let's do this. Creates himself a full 3D Force image with power. With actual, like, physical power. Not just like a Force ghost, a full, you know, like, he can actually do stuff in this form. And he sends himself to the other planet where everybody's holed up trying to, or is it a moon or something? Looks like Hoth to me. I don't know, maybe it's not Hoth, but it's like Hoth, so I'll just call it Random Planet or something like that. Random Hoth Planet. So they go to Hoth Planet, Random Hoth Planet, and they're holding off the Empire, and it's all, and then Luke shows up, and he looks a lot younger, and he's like, hey, yo, Darth Emo kid, get your butt down here. I got a score to settle with you, Darth Emo kid. And Darth Emo kid, still speaking like he's got the record player helmet, comes down and goes, Luke Skywalker. Now he's speaking all the time like he's got the helmet on, but he doesn't. Luke Skywalker. What is it? What do you want, Mr. Skywalker? I challenge you to a duel. Okay, fire everything. Okay, everybody, fire everything. Spammy projectiles all over the screen. Luke brushes his shoulder off. Then the lightsaber duel. Darth Emo Kid and Luke's Force power lightsaber duel. Then the regular movie kicks back in. And Luke Skywalker cuts back to Luke Skywalker sitting on the rock in his cloak on the island. with the animals. Those weird alien creatures. You know, the one that was in the creatures that were in the breast milk scene. You didn't think I was going to go all the way through the entire series without mentioning how he literally milked off one of the alien creatures. One of the new alien creatures. You weren't gonna. There was no way I was going through this whole thing without at least mentioning that. I mean, what that symbolizes right there summed up the movie for me. During the training scene, before he says he's gonna train Rey, he kind of, actually no kind of about it. He straight milks one of the alien creatures, one of the animals on the planet. He straight milks it. It's making all these weird noises too, as if the visual wasn't enough. He straight milks the alien animal, whatever it's called. I'm sorry, but that for me was the symbol. That and the BB-8 in the walker and the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way they handled Luke's character was a symbol of the entire movie. Most of the entire movie. Other than the Yoda callback. Which I could tell they were a little out of practice on, but they handled pretty well. And so they get off the planet and they beam down. And so they get off the ship and they beam down to the abandoned rebel base. And all this stuff happens like what I said. And then Disney Girl saves ex-stormtrooper's life. And they say, oh, don't destroy the stuff you hate, help the things you love. And then the cannon goes off and, yeah. And the cannon goes off. And boom, flash, boom. Settlement is turned on its ass. And clip back to Luke on the rock. Stands up and vanishes like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, I don't think Luke knew about that scene. I don't think Mark Hamill, knew about that scene, to be honest. The way you said, see you around, kid, when he was done with the emo of the Sith. The way he said, see you around, kid, did it for me. I don't think he knew. I think that was an after edit. There's been a couple of after edits. It'd have changed Star Wars in a big way. So, when Luke Skywalker died, that was it for me. I only vaguely remember the rest of the movie. There are certain images from that movie that are literally burned into my mind. Like BB-8 with the walker and the breast milk scene. And in a good way, the Yoda scene. The way they handled Yoda. Maybe not the whole scene, but the way they handled Yoda. Even though they were a little rusty at it. Overall, man, that movie was hard to take. So, Darth Emo Kid. Lost his helmet. I mean, I'm hoping he can just go build a new helmet. I'm not in it for Darth Emo Kid without a helmet, man. As much as I rip on that record player thing, I will lose. I enjoy messing with Darth Vader and Darth Emo Kid. And if he's lost his helmet, then I'll have to just go back to Vader. And I've worn out Vader. We've all worn out Vader. We've all worn out Vader. Alright, so that's my take on Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Oh, and Chewbacca must have been bored as hell in this entire film. I mean, both the Wookiee and the actor. Whoever is playing Chewbacca now must have been ready to use that bowcaster, man. Chewbacca must have been ready to use that bowcaster by the time this movie was out. He didn't have 6 things that were that important. I mean, you can't understand what he's saying, but the look on his face and the way he leveled that bowcaster must have said it all. You killed my buddy. You killed Han Solo. You caused what in my storyline. When am I going to get to see those other Wookiees that were supposed to have been in Episode 3? Come on, man. I've had enough of this background character cameo business. Are you sure? Are you sure this is where you want to take Star Wars? They must have had to tell R2-D2 to watch his language 5 or 6 separate times. At least. They must have had to tell They must have had to tell. Oh my god. Oh yeah. They must have had to tell a lot of these characters exactly. I'm just That's just my point of view based on what I know about these characters. They must have told R2 to watch his language a bunch of times. I still love Star Wars. I just got the Empire Strikes Back from NPR. I listened to it last night. Now that is a retelling of Star Wars worth hearing. The all three of those are pretty nice. That was back when NPR still gave a damn about its listeners. That's a whole nother video. Alright. So, this is Metal Steve. May the Force be with us. May this next movie at least try and fish itself out from where this Last Two Jedi business. Oh, and final spoiler, Rey is the last Jedi. Luke told Darth Emo Kid that Rey was the last Jedi. Before the fight. Or after the fight. During the fight scene. I don't know, man. It got a little confusing after Luke died on a rock. It got a little confusing after Luke died on a rock. Got a little confusing after Luke tried to attack Ben Solo. This movie is hard to take standing up. This is Metal Steve. Sorry for the video length and quality and the file size. Signing off. I'll see if if I'm allowed to upload the Star Wars episodes for Return of the Jedi and The Empire Strikes Back on my channel. I'll have to go check with the legal stuff to see if I can get the NPR versions of all three actually uploaded. This is Metal Steve signing off. Have a good day, folks, and may the Force be with you. Later.